Imagine, for a moment, peering into the future, not through a crystal ball, but by observing the quiet, steadfast rhythms of daily life. What if the true harbingers of a long, healthy, and fulfilling existence, perhaps even reaching the coveted milestone of 100 years, weren't found in complex genetic codes or elusive miracle supplements, but in the simple, often underestimated abilities we cultivate and maintain as we age? It's a compelling thought, and one increasingly supported by decades of research into healthy aging. The truth is, certain everyday capacities, particularly those still robust after the age of 65, can quietly and powerfully reveal just how resilient, strong, and predisposed to longevity an individual truly is. These are not mere guesses, they are reflections of the core systems, physical, mental, and emotional, that keep us not just alive, but vibrantly engaged and fully independent. This exploration isn't about setting an impossible standard or inducing anxiety. Instead, it's an invitation to recognize and appreciate the profound strength inherent in what might seem mundane. Each of these 8 signs, while perhaps appearing small on its own, collectively paints a portrait of someone whose mind and body are aging with grace and fortitude, not surrender. It's for those who may not even realize the remarkable feat they are accomplishing daily until these indicators are laid out and understood in their full significance. Join us as we delve into these 8 powerful yet often overlooked signs that you might be on a remarkable trajectory towards a longer, healthier life, potentially even to a century. We will uncover not only what these signs are, but more crucially, why they matter so deeply, and how we can nurture and protect them for as long as possible. If even 1 or 2 of these resonate with your current experience, take it as a well-deserved badge of honor and perhaps a gentle encouragement to continue on your path of mindful living. 1. The rhythmic pulse of endurance. The ability to walk for 30 minutes without needing to stop. One of the clearest and most consistently validated indicators of how well your body is navigating the aging process is your ability to walk for a continuous 30 minutes without needing to pause for rest. This isn't about speed, competitive prowess, or grueling marathons. It's about steady, purposeful movement. Whether it's a leisurely stroll through a beloved park, the practical navigation of grocery store aisles, or even a thoughtful pacing along your driveway, this seemingly simple act holds a treasure trove of information about your long-term health and vitality. Why does this particular benchmark carry such weight? Because walking, in its essence, is a sophisticated full-body orchestration. Your lungs must efficiently draw in and process oxygen, your heart must pump blood with steady strength, your muscles must contract and relax in coordinated fashion, your joints must bear weight and flex smoothly, and even your brain is actively engaged, processing sensory input and maintaining balance. They all must work in seamless, real-time collaboration. Therefore, if you find yourself past the age of 65 and can still comfortably ambulate for this duration, without succumbing to shortness of breath, debilitating joint pain, or an overwhelming urge to rest, it's more than just a sign of good current health. It's a profound testament to your body's inherent resilience. There's a sound reason why physicians often inquire about an older patient's walking habits, the distance they can cover, the frequency of their walks. The answer illuminates a spectrum of vital functions: cardiovascular strength, balance proficiency, overall energy levels, and even the latent risk of functional decline. Individuals who maintain regular and easy walking routines tend to exhibit lower blood pressure, enjoy better memory retention, manage healthier blood sugar levels, and possess stronger immune responses. It's an interconnected web of benefits. However, there's a deeper, almost philosophical layer to this. The ability to move through the world with ease reflects a continued active connection to life itself. During a walk, you might exchange a friendly nod with neighbors, breathe in the invigorating scent of fresh air, or simply enjoy the sensation of being upright and engaged with your surroundings. Walking, in many ways, keeps your mind and body synchronized with the vibrant rhythm of daily existence. Consider the story of Jerry, a man who at 80 was as sharp as a tack. His self-professed secret? A daily morning walk, rain or shine. Nothing overly strenuous, just a quiet 30-minute loop around his block. He often shared that it helped him think more clearly, sleep more soundly, and fundamentally feel like himself. As fate would have it, Jerry outlived many of his peers, not because he obsessively chased youth, but because he consistently stayed in motion. His simple habit was a daily investment in his longevity. If the prospect of a 30-minute walk currently seems daunting, this isn't a call for alarm, but rather an invitation for gentle attention. Stamina can diminish quietly, often before overt pain signals its departure. You might unconsciously begin to opt for shorter routes, skip the stairs, or find yourself sitting for longer periods than you used to. This is often how a slow decline begins, not with a dramatic collapse, but with a subtle, incremental shrinking of one's world. The encouraging news is that your walking ability is not set in stone. It can be preserved and even significantly improved with consistency. You don't require a state-of-the-art gym or expensive athletic shoes. All that's needed is the commitment to keep moving. Every step you take is a powerful signal to your body. I'm still here. I'm still strong. I'm still going. So, if you are someone who still relishes a 30-minute walk with ease, cherish that ability with pride. And if you're not quite there yet, view it as an achievable challenge. A little more each day, a little farther each week. Because every minute you spend on your feet is one more moment you are actively keeping your body youthful and resilient. That was our first deep dive into a key sign of longevity. If you find this information about the importance of sustained walking useful, and perhaps it resonates with your own life, please comment with the number 1 below to let us know. We love hearing how these insights connect with you. And if you haven't already, this is a great time to support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing. Don't forget the notification bell so you're always in the loop for more content like this. 2. The mind's well-kept archive, the ability to remember names, appointments, and daily tasks with ease. Should you find yourself navigating life beyond 65 and still possess the mental agility to recall names without undue hesitation, remember appointments without a constant barrage of reminders, and manage your daily tasks without feeling enveloped in a persistent mental fog, then you are already embodying something truly remarkable. Mental sharpness at this stage of life isn't merely a pleasant bonus. It stands as one of the most unambiguous indicators of long-term brain health, and intriguingly, even life expectancy. It's natural for our brains to process information a tad more slowly as the years accumulate. We might occasionally take an extra moment to retrieve a specific word or retrace a thought process. This is a normal part of aging. However, what we are highlighting here transcends these minor delays. It's the consistent ability to effectively retain, organize, and retrieve information. If you still catch yourself confidently stating, "Oh yes, I remember her. Her daughter's name is Sarah, isn't it?" Or if you can adeptly manage your own schedule without an over-reliance on others, it powerfully demonstrates that the intricate neural pathways in your brain remain well-connected and dynamically active. Cognitive strength in later life signifies much more than the capacity for remembering trivia. It means you are actively maintaining your precious independence. You are navigating the complexities of your own life, making informed decisions, creatively solving problems, and staying mentally interwoven with the world around you. This caliber of mental agility doesn't simply materialize by accident. It is often the cumulative result of years of deaded habits that protect and nourish the brain. Restorative sleep, regular physical movement, a balanced and nutrient-rich diet, meaningful social interaction, and an insatiable curiosity. There's also an undercurrent of quiet confidence that accompanies mental clarity. You develop a deeper trust in your own cognitive abilities. You're less likely to second-guess every minor detail or live in a state of perpetual worry about whether you've forgotten something crucial. This inherent peace of mind in itself acts as a protective shield for your emotional health, effectively lowering stress levels and allowing you to more fully enjoy the rich tapestry of life you've meticulously built. Consider Helen, a vibrant 77-year-old who orchestrates her schedule down to the minute. She unfailingly remembers birthdays, expertly coordinates church meetings, and still engages in word games every evening with her husband. Her physician once remarked that she possessed the cognitive clarity of someone 2 decades younger. This wasn't attributable to mere luck. It was a testament to her unwavering consistency. She avidly read books, maintained a lively social life, perpetually asked questions, and never ceased her pursuit of learning. Her curiosity, it turned out, was her most potent medicine. The truth is, the brain thrives on challenge and engagement. The moment we cease providing it with something to reach for, be it a stimulating crossword puzzle, a new recipe to master, an engaging phone call, or the pursuit of a novel hobby, it begins almost imperceptibly to power down. So if you are still remembering details with discernible ease, you are not just fortunate, you are demonstrably healthy. And if you've noticed yourself slipping a little, perhaps forgetting names more frequently, requiring more reminders, or losing track of time more often, it doesn't automatically signify that cognitive decline is an inevitable destiny. The brain possesses a far greater adaptability or neuroplasticity than we often credit it with. New neural pathways can indeed still be forged. Beneficial habits can still be rewired and reinforced. But this renewal process commences with awareness and the conscious decision to remain mentally engaged. Therefore, if you still possess a sharp memory and can navigate your day with mental clarity, hold on to that precious faculty. Nourish it, challenge it, and keep it actively working. Because a mind that retains its clarity at this stage in life is more than just a functional tool. It's a profound gift, and often it stands as one of the most robust signs that your road ahead might be significantly longer and more vibrant than you anticipate. What are your thoughts on the connection between memory and longevity? If this exploration of mental sharpness, sign number 2, struck a chord with you, or if you have personal strategies for keeping your mind agile, please share by commenting with the number 2 or the keyword memory. Your experiences enrich our community. 3. The grace of self-sufficiency, the ability to get up from a chair or the floor without using your hands. There's an undeniable, almost primal power in the ability to rise from a seated position, whether from a comfortable chair or even from the floor, without the necessity of bracing yourself or pushing off with your hands. It might not immediately register as a momentous feat, but this seemingly simple movement encapsulates a surprising depth of meaning when it comes to your health, mobility, and cherished independence after the age of 65. Why is this so significant? Because standing up from a seated position without employing your arms demands a symphony of physical attributes. Strong leg muscles, particularly in the quadriceps and glutes, solid core stability to maintain balance and control, good proprioception, your body's awareness of its position in space, and refined coordination. All of these elements are absolutely essential for preventing falls, maintaining confidence in your movements, and preserving the kind of physical freedom that makes daily life feel both manageable and dignified. Think about the implications in everyday scenarios. When you can rise smoothly from the couch to answer the door, exit a car with ease, or even get up from the floor after retrieving a dropped item, it's a clear indication that your body is still functioning as a unified, responsive system. More importantly, it demonstrates that your lower body hasn't surrendered its foundational strength. This is critical because a wealth of studies has conclusively shown that leg strength, especially in the quadriceps and hip muscles, is one of the most potent predictors of longevity, and, crucially, fall prevention in older adults. Falls are not mere accidents or minor inconveniences for many seniors. A single fall can tragically initiate a cascade of debilitating health complications, serious injuries, prolonged hospital stays, a pervasive fear of falling, leading to reduced confidence, and ultimately a spiral into decreased movement and isolation. This is precisely why the ability to stand up independently, particularly without the aid of your hands, serves as such an important, albeit subtle, marker of well-being. It's more than a matter of convenience. It's a tangible reflection of how well your musculoskeletal system is aging. Take someone like Frank, a 75-year-old gentleman who never particularly cared for formal gym workouts. However, every single morning, he made it a point to sit down on his living room rug, perform a couple of gentle stretches, and then stand back up. No assistance, no hands. When he casually mentioned this routine to his physical therapist during a routine checkup, the therapist remarked, "Frank, you're doing better than half the people a decade younger than you." This is because the ability to rise from the floor is something many individuals start to lose, often without even realizing it, until they attempt it one day and find, to their dismay, that they can't. The heartening news, however, is that this ability is highly trainable and can be reclaimed. If you've started to notice yourself relying on your hands more frequently to get up, or needing an extra push of effort to extricate yourself from a chair, it doesn't mean the game is over. It simply means your body is signaling a need for support and targeted strengthening. So, even simple, consistently performed chair squats, rising from a chair and sitting back down repeatedly, leg raises while seated or standing, or specific core strengthening exercises can help restore lost strength and coordination. What truly matters is not whether you've experienced some natural slowing down. It's whether you're still capable of lifting your own body weight with control and stability. That movement represents far more than just muscle power. It epitomizes autonomy. The ability to get up on your own signifies that you are not dependent on others for something as basic and vital as fundamental movement. It means your nervous system, your brain, and your muscles are still communicating effectively and working in harmonious concert. So, if you can stand up from a chair or the floor without using your hands, take a moment to acknowledge and be genuinely proud of that capability. That's not something to be taken for granted. It's a powerful reflection of underlying strength, resilience, and the kind of body that still has many active, engaged years ahead. Because the day you stop being able to get up with ease is, metaphorically speaking, the day your world begins to get a little smaller. And it truly doesn't have to be that way. Do you find yourself easily rising from a chair without using your hands? This third sign is a testament to core strength and balance. If this point about functional strength resonates with you, or if you have tips for maintaining it, please let us know by commenting with the number 3 below. We're eager to hear your perspective. 4. The nightly renewal. The ability to sleep through the night and wake up feeling refreshed. One of the most illuminating yet frequently overlooked signs that your body is aging gracefully and effectively lies in the quality of your sleep. If you are over 65 and still find yourself able to fall asleep with relative ease, remain asleep throughout the night without significant interruptions, and, crucially, wake up in the morning feeling genuinely rested and rejuvenated, you are experiencing something that a great many individuals in your age group quietly struggle with. Why does this nocturnal pattern matter so profoundly? Because good sleep isn't merely about feeling alert and functional the following morning. It's during the deep restorative stages of sleep that your brain undertakes its essential cleanup operations. It diligently clears metabolic waste products, consolidates important memories, and repairs and rebuilds nerve connections. Simultaneously, your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, and your entire body shifts into a profound healing and regenerative mode. For older adults, this nightly restoration process is even more critical. Your immune system, your brain health, and your hormonal balance all rely heavily on consistent, high-quality sleep to maintain their optimal function. When sleep patterns begin to break down, a domino effect often ensues, impacting virtually every other aspect of health. Individuals who suffer from chronic poor sleep tend to experience more difficulties with memory and concentration, mood regulation, blood sugar control, and even physical balance. Insufficient or fragmented sleep is strongly linked to an increased risk of stroke, depression, unhealthy weight gain, and even dementia. Perhaps the most unfortunate part is that many seniors resign themselves to poor sleep, accepting it as an inevitable consequence of aging. However, this is a misconception. It doesn't have to be the norm. Let me share the experience of Carol, aged 79. She had begun waking up 4 or 5 times every night and had come to believe it was just normal for her age. "Everyone my age does," she'd say. But when she finally mentioned this persistent issue to her doctor, they conducted some simple checks and discovered that her iron levels were low and she was mildly, chronically dehydrated. A few straightforward adjustments to her evening routine, increasing her water intake earlier in the day, incorporating an iron-rich snack before bed, and establishing a consistent lights-out time, led to a dramatic improvement in her sleep quality. She described the change as feeling like her whole world had suddenly opened back up, filled with renewed energy and clarity. There's a fundamental reason why sleep is often referred to as the very foundation of health. You can meticulously eat well, engage in daily physical activity, and maintain a vibrant social life, but if your sleep is consistently broken or insufficient, the benefits derived from all those other positive efforts are significantly diminished, perhaps even cut in half. And if you routinely wake up still feeling tired, groggy, or unrefreshed, that isn't truly restful sleep. It's merely a period of unconsciousness that lacks the deep, restorative power your body and mind crave. If you are someone who still consistently sleeps through the night and awakens with enough energy to embrace the day, that's not an occurrence to overlook or take lightly. That's your body's way of communicating that its intricate internal systems, your hormones, your nervous system, your stress response mechanisms are still functioning in beautiful synchrony. Maintaining that delicate balance becomes more challenging with age, and disruptions in sleep often precede the appearance of other more overt symptoms. Now, if your sleep isn't quite where you'd like it to be, please don't simply write it off as an unchangeable reality. There are dozens of factors that can influence sleep quality, ranging from the ambient temperature and light levels in your bedroom to the medications you take and the timing of your meals. But what matters most is recognizing that sleep is not a passive state. It's one of the most active and vital processes your body undertakes for your long-term health and well-being. And here's the crucial takeaway. Deep, consistent, high-quality sleep isn't a luxury. It's a vital sign, as telling as your blood pressure or heart rate. If your body still possesses the innate wisdom to wind down effectively, remain peacefully restful, and diligently rebuild itself every night, it signifies that your systems are still working together in remarkable harmony. And that kind of profound internal harmony is one of the strongest and most encouraging signs that you are indeed built for the long haul. This brings us to our fourth sign of vibrant aging. How is your sleep quality? If you found this discussion on restorative sleep insightful, or if it's made you think about your own sleep patterns, please let us know by commenting with the number 4 below. And if you're finding value in this comprehensive look at longevity, a like, subscribe, and bell notification click would be immensely appreciated, helping us to continue bringing you informative content. 5. The tapestry of togetherness, the ability to maintain meaningful relationships and social connections. If you find yourself navigating the years beyond 65 and still actively maintain enriching friendships, stay in consistent touch with family members, or regularly dedicate time to spending with people who genuinely matter to you, then you are nurturing something that most people significantly underestimate, something profoundly intertwined with longevity. Social connection isn't merely a source of comfort in later life. It's a veritable lifeline, and it plays a far more substantial role in determining how long and, just as importantly, how well you live than many individuals realize. A robust body of scientific research has consistently demonstrated that consistent, meaningful social engagement is just as crucial to your overall health as regular physical exercise or adherence to a nutritious diet. In fact, the detrimental health impacts of chronic loneliness have been compared to those of smoking or obesity, linked to increased risks of heart disease, depression, a weakened immune system, and even premature death. Conversely, genuine connection, the kind that fosters a sense of belonging and mutual support, helps to actively protect against these very risks. It keeps your mind sharp and stimulated, your mood more stable and positive, and your body demonstrably more resilient in the face of stressors. This is because relationships offer something that no pill or supplement can ever replicate. They provide a compelling reason to get up in the morning, a reason to laugh, a reason to care, and a reason to feel cared for. That profound sense of being seen, being needed, and being valued nourishes you not just emotionally, but biologically as well. Take, for instance, Robert, an 82-year-old widower. After his beloved wife passed away, he lived alone. Yet, every week, without fail, he met up with a small group of close friends at a familiar diner down the street. They talked, they joked, they often retold the same cherished old stories, and he frequently said that this 1 hour each week gave him the strength and perspective to keep going. He affectionately called it his medicine without a label. And he wasn't wrong. Social interaction, particularly positive and supportive engagement, actually influences the levels of stress hormones like cortisol in your body. It can improve blood flow to the brain, contributing to cognitive vitality, and it often supports better sleep patterns. When you talk to people who genuinely care about you and you about them, your body literally responds by reducing inflammation and bolstering immune balance. Even simple gestures carry significant weight. A thoughtful phone call, a shared lunch date, a short visit from a neighbor. You don't necessarily need a bustling crowd or a packed social calendar. What you need is authentic connection. Because isolation doesn't always manifest as physically sitting alone in an empty room. Sometimes it looks like going days without a truly meaningful conversation, or not having someone in your life with whom you feel safe enough to open up and share your genuine thoughts and feelings. That kind of emotional solitude can insidiously wear on your health in ways that are initially invisible but profoundly powerful over time. So, if you are someone who still makes the effort to keep in touch with friends, regularly checks in on loved ones, or finds genuine joy and rejuvenation in conversation, you are doing far more than simply staying social. You are actively protecting your mind and body from the slow, corrosive wear of loneliness. And if your social circle has perhaps shrunk a bit over the years, if your world feels quieter than it once did, that doesn't mean it's too late to re-engage or forge new bonds. Start small. Consider joining a class or a club centered around an interest. Summon the courage to call an old friend you've lost touch with, or simply say yes to an invitation you might usually decline, because even just one meaningful human exchange each day can begin to turn the tide. Human beings are intrinsically wired for connection. We not only survive on it, we thrive on it. And when you are still actively nurturing those vital connections after the age of 65, you are doing more than most. You are choosing life and choosing it in the most profoundly human way possible. Have you experienced the powerful impact of social connections on your well-being? This fifth sign underscores the importance of our relationships. If you agree or have a story about how connection has enriched your life, please share by commenting with the number 5 below. Your personal experiences add so much value to our community. 6. The alchemy of nourishment, the ability to prepare and enjoy nutritious meals on your own. If, as you journey beyond the age of 65, you find yourself still capably preparing your own meals, mindfully choosing fresh ingredients, cooking them with care and attention, and then sitting down to genuinely enjoy the fruits of your labor, you are demonstrating far more than just the ability to feed yourself. You are embodying one of the most essential and often underestimated signs of long-term vitality: daily self-sufficiency, grounded in awareness, discipline, and a profound sense of dignity. The act of preparing meals, while seemingly ordinary, is actually a remarkably complex skill set in action. It involves meticulous planning, coordinated physical movement, sustained balance, reliable memory recall, and often a deep-seated sense of purpose. You are consciously choosing what to eat based on your body's needs and your personal preferences. You are navigating your kitchen environment with safety and efficiency. You are timing ingredients, managing heat, and making a continuous series of small but significant decisions. All of this signifies that your body and mind are still working in harmonious concert. More than that, however, your ability to cook and derive pleasure from your own food eloquently demonstrates that you still deeply value your health and that you are not passively drifting through your days. You are still actively choosing nourishment over mere convenience, still engaging with the intricate details of daily life, and still consciously investing in the quality of your future well-being. Let's consider a real-life example that beautifully illustrates this point. I once knew a remarkable woman named Lorraine, 85 years young, who cooked herself a proper breakfast every single morning: eggs, toast, a piece of fruit, and a cup of coffee, prepared just the way she liked it. She often said, "It's how I know I'm still myself." Her well-meaning son once offered to bring her a supply of prepackaged frozen meals to make things easier for her. Lorraine smiled gently and replied, "Thank you, dear, but that's the first step to giving up." For her, preparing food wasn't just about the act of eating. It was an assertion of her independence, a daily ritual that affirmed her capability and her connection to life. There's also a deeper, more subtle layer to this. The types of food you consistently prepare and enjoy can say a great deal about how your body is faring in the aging process. When older adults continue to incorporate an abundance of leafy greens, colorful vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats like nuts and avocados, and whole grains into their diets, it's a strong indication that they are actively keeping inflammation in check, maintaining vital muscle mass, supporting their cognitive function, and protecting their cardiovascular health. Conversely, when eating habits begin to slip, when meals become irregular, overly reliant on processed options, or frequently skipped altogether, it's often one of the earliest, softest whispers of a potential decline. This is because cooking requires energy, focus, and motivation. When someone begins to lose that intrinsic energy or that inherent interest in self-nourishment, it often manifests first in the kitchen. They might stop planning meals thoughtfully, resort to constant snacking instead of structured eating, or their refrigerator might begin to look emptier and less vibrant than usual. These are the little things that often signal a change before more significant symptoms start to shout for attention. So, if you are still regularly cooking meals that you genuinely enjoy, if you find a quiet satisfaction in the process of preparing and savoring your food, that's something truly worth celebrating. It means you are still engaged, still invested, and still an active participant in your own well being. And that profound sense of care and self respect extends far beyond the plate. However, if you've noticed that the spark for cooking has dwindled, if the thought of preparing a meal feels more like a burden than a pleasure, or if you find yourself frequently skipping meals, it might be an opportune moment to gently check in with yourself. Is it fatigue, a shift in mood, a lack of appetite, or perhaps a feeling of being overwhelmed? Sometimes all it takes is a little fresh inspiration or a touch of support, perhaps sharing a meal with a friend, trying a new simple recipe, or taking an enjoyable trip to a local farmer's market to reignite that vital connection to food. Because food isn't just fuel, it's memory, it's rhythm, it's culture, and it's self-care. And when you're still mindfully creating it for yourself after 65, you're holding on to something profoundly life-affirming and deeply empowering. This sixth sign highlights the importance of self-sufficiency and nourishment. If you find joy in preparing your own meals, or if this discussion has given you food for thought, please comment with the number 6 below. We value your input. And if you appreciate these detailed explorations, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the notification bell to stay updated with our future content. Your support is what enables us to continue creating and sharing. 7. The helm of personal affairs, the ability to handle your own finances and medications without confusion. If you are navigating life beyond the age of 65 and still confidently and accurately managing your own bills, bank accounts, and medication regimens without consistently needing someone else to double-check your work or guide you through the processes, you are accomplishing something truly significant. This particular kind of mental organization and daily assumption of responsibility is a powerful and often underappreciated sign of long-term cognitive strength and enduring independence. It tells us a great deal about how effectively and clearly your brain is functioning. Handling your personal finances, for instance, isn't merely about writing checks or using a credit card. It involves a sophisticated interplay of memory, recalling due dates and account details, logic, understanding statements and balancing budgets, sustained attention to detail, spotting errors or unusual activity, and prudent long-term planning, making informed decisions about savings and investments. You have to keep meticulous track of payment schedules, comprehend complex financial statements, possess the acuity to recognize potential errors or even fraudulent activity, and navigate the world with an awareness that helps avoid scams. This is executive function in action, your brain operating at a high level, quietly, consistently, and effectively. And when it comes to managing medications, the stakes are arguably even higher. Knowing precisely what medication to take, the correct time to take it, and the accurate dosage, all without missing doses or making potentially harmful mistakes, requires sharp attention, disciplined routine, and unwavering diligence. Medication errors, unfortunately, are one of the most common and preventable causes of hospital visits and serious health complications among seniors. Therefore, the ability to manage your medications independently and correctly isn't just a small personal victory. It's a major health safeguard, a critical component of maintaining your well-being and avoiding iatrogenic harm. What all of this ultimately points to is the crucial capacity for sound decision-making. If you can still make clear, timely, and informed decisions regarding your money and your health, you are actively protecting your independence every single day. And that skill, so often taken for granted in earlier years, is frequently one of the first to show signs of fading when cognitive decline begins to set in. I recall the story of Henry, a meticulous 78-year-old who still diligently tracked all his expenses on a yellow legal pad, balanced his checkbook to the penny each week, and carefully reviewed his medication list with his pharmacist every month. When his well-meaning daughter offered to take over the management of his finances to lighten his load, Henry politely but firmly declined, stating, "Not yet, dear. I want to keep my mind sharp." And he was absolutely right. His unwavering attention to these important details kept him mentally active, confident in his abilities, and firmly in control of his own life. Now, if you have started to notice occasional small slips, Perhaps missing a bill payment, momentarily mixing up a pill bottle, or finding it a bit more challenging to organize your schedule, that's not something to hide in shame or ignore out of fear. It's an important signal, something to explore with honesty and pragmatism. Sometimes relatively small adjustments in your routines or systems can provide significant protection from bigger risks down the road. Tools like automatic bill payments, clearly labeled pill organizers, or more visually accessible calendars are not signs of failure. They are intelligent aids that can support continued independence. What matters most is your ongoing awareness and your willingness to stay actively involved in these critical aspects of your life. Because once you relinquish attention to your financial and medical well-being, you effectively cede that control to someone else. And while seeking and accepting help is sometimes necessary and wise, the ability to direct your own affairs for as long as possible is deeply intertwined with your self-respect, your sense of autonomy, and your overall quality of life. So, if you are still adeptly managing these complex aspects of your life without undue trouble, that's not just doing fine. That's a clear and compelling sign that your mind is still remarkably sharp. Your internal systems are still robust, and your life is still very much under your own command. And for someone aiming to live not just to 100, but to live to 100 with quality, grace, and dignity, that is one of the most powerful and affirming signs there is. Managing personal affairs with clarity is indeed a significant indicator of cognitive health. This is our seventh sign of importance. If you feel this point about financial and medical self-management is crucial, or if you have systems that help you stay organized, please share by commenting with the number 7 below. Your practical wisdom is invaluable. 8. The inner compass of vitality, the ability to wake up each day with a sense of purpose and curiosity. If you are over 65 and still find yourself waking up in the morning with a genuine reason to start your day, something you eagerly look forward to, something you deeply care about, something that intrinsically pulls you out of bed with a sense of anticipation, that is not just beneficial for your mood. It is, in fact, one of the most powerful and consistently validated predictors of a long and fulfilling life that we know of. Because purpose, in this context, isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a profound, life-sustaining fuel. It keeps the mind alert and engaged, the heart open and receptive, and the body willing and able to keep going, to keep striving, to keep experiencing. Having a sense of purpose doesn't necessarily mean you have to be actively employed in a formal job or relentlessly chasing grand, audacious goals. It can manifest in ways that are both simple and deeply meaningful, lovingly tending a garden, faithfully walking a cherished dog, consistently writing in a journal, generously volunteering your time, regularly calling your children or grandchildren, thoughtfully helping a neighbor in need, or even just passionately learning something new purely because it sparks your interest and ignites your intellect. That little, often quiet spark of, I have something meaningful to do today, is precisely what imbues the day with significance. And over time, this accumulation of purposeful day life structure, direction, and a deep, abiding joy. Researchers across various disciplines have found again and again that people who possess a clear reason to wake up in the morning, no matter how seemingly small or personal that reason might be, tend to live longer, experience fewer illnesses, and recover more quickly and completely when they do fall ill. This isn't attributable to magic, it's the power of motivation. Purposeful individuals tend to move more, connect more with others, and take better care of themselves, both physically and emotionally. And their bodies, in turn, respond by staying more resilient for longer. Consider the inspiring example of Ruth, an 84-year-old woman who meticulously makes handmade cards for every single birthday and special occasion within her church group. She often says with a twinkle in her eye, "It's probably a silly little thing, but it makes people smile." What she may not fully realize is that in performing this act of kindness, she is also simultaneously strengthening her memory, keeping her hands dexterous and nimble, staying socially connected with her community, and giving her heart a profound sense of belonging and contribution, all achieved through one small, consistent weekly ritual. On the other hand, when people lose that vital sense of purpose, things often tend to decline. Days can feel inordinately long and empty. Energy levels may dip inexplicably, conversations can feel flat and uninspired, and the future may seem less inviting and more uncertain. This is often why some individuals appear to age rapidly after significant life transitions like retirement or the loss of a loved one. They haven't just lost a job or a person, they've lost their primary source of direction and meaning. But here's the truly beautiful and empowering aspect of purpose: it can always be rediscovered, rebuilt, or redefined at any age. It just has to be genuinely meaningful to you. It doesn't need to impress anyone else or meet some externally imposed grand societal expectation. It simply has to matter enough to you that you feel compelled to engage with it, to pursue it, to do it again tomorrow. If you still feel a vibrant curiosity about the world, if you still possess the desire to learn, to help, to grow, to give of yourself, that's not just a sign that your spirit remains strong and undaunted. It signifies that your brain is still flexible and capable of forming new connections, your emotions are still active and responsive, and your body is still attentively listening to your profound will to live. And in many ways, that unwavering inner drive, that quiet yet persistent sense of purpose, is one of the clearest and most compelling signs that you're not just passively aging. You are actively, vibrantly, and continuously becoming. So, if you wake up each morning with something to look forward to, no matter how simple, cherish that precious gift, because that quiet internal drive just might be one of the strongest reasons you've made it this far with such vitality, and one of the most profound reasons you'll continue to go further and live longer than most might expect. Waking with purpose and curiosity, our eighth sign, truly fuels a vibrant life. Do you have a particular purpose or curiosity that drives you daily? If this resonates with you, or if you'd like to share what gives your days meaning, please comment with the number 8 below. Your stories of purpose are incredibly inspiring. The enduring blueprint, weaving these signs into a tapestry of a long life. Now that we've journeyed together through these 8 significant yet often unheralded signs of enduring vitality, how many did you recognize in yourself or in the lives of loved ones? Perhaps one or two resonated immediately, standing out with stark clarity. Maybe, to your pleasant surprise, you saw reflections of yourself in more of them than you initially expected. Either way, it's worth taking a genuine moment to sit with that recognition, to truly absorb its implications. Because if you're navigating life beyond 65 and can still embody these abilities, moving with ease, thinking with clarity, rising with strength, sleeping restoratively, connecting deeply, nourishing yourself mindfully, managing your affairs competently, and waking with purpose, it's not merely a stroke of good fortune. It is a profound testament to the fact that your mind and body are still working together in remarkable, harmonious ways. These are not just nice-to-have attributes or fleeting moments of capability. They are powerful, early indicators of potential longevity, sustained independence, and, most importantly, a high quality of life in the years to come. Every single one of these signs reflects underlying systems that are still demonstrating impressive strength and resilience. Your cardiovascular health, your muscular integrity, your cognitive acuity, your ingrained positive habits, and your unwavering sense of purpose. And when all of those complex elements are still working in concert, that's the kind of profound internal harmony that adds not just more years to your life, but more vibrant, meaningful life to your years. Of course, it's important to remember that not everyone will tick every single box, and that is perfectly okay. This exploration is not intended as a rigid test or a source of comparison. Rather, it's offered as a gentle roadmap, a thoughtful reminder of what truly matters for long-term well-being, and an encouraging affirmation of what is still well within your reach to cultivate or strengthen. Because the encouraging truth is that many of these abilities can be regained, bolstered, or significantly improved with dedicated time, focused attention, and a little consistent effort. If there's one overarching message to take away from our discussion, let it be this: longevity in its truest and most desirable form isn't solely about avoiding illness or staving off decline. It's about actively, joyfully, and purposefully staying involved in your own life. It's about embracing movement, cherishing memory, nurturing purpose, fostering connection, and upholding self-respect through daily actions. And if you still find even a few of these vital signs flourishing in your life today, then you are already remarkably ahead of the curve, well on your way to a longer, fuller, and more enriching future. So, after all this analysis and reflection, what is the most important lesson or insight you've gleaned for yourself today? Which of these 8 signs do you see most clearly in your own life? And perhaps, which one do you feel inspired to work on or nurture a bit more in the coming year? We would genuinely love to hear your thoughts and personal reflections. Please don't hesitate to share them in the comments section below. Reading your perspectives gives us great motivation and encouragement. If this deep dive into the subtle yet powerful indicators of a long and healthy life has brought value to you, please consider supporting our channel by hitting the like button, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell. Your engagement helps us continue to create insightful and useful content designed to inform and inspire. Thank you for joining us on this journey today, and we eagerly look forward to seeing you in the next video. Remember, the path of self-care and vibrant aging is a continuous one. Start with small, sustainable steps today.